Hello, Narnach here. Welcome back to Grim Dawn. We're playing on hardcore with our Death Knight Drain Essence character. And today we're gonna head into the Conflagration. Just to wrap up the final of the quests that lay around Homestead. So next up we can move over to the Bloodgrove. It's always a slightly perilous journey, potentially perilous journey. No, not guaranteed to be perilous. But walking through just some of the ether-covered areas like that, not always good for your health. Keep in mind now, at last moment, if you drink a health potion, you will recover quite some of your life. If you're not playing on hardcore, now if once you make it past one of those ether chasms, don't just pop up your portal, so if you die you at least can just go back from town to your portal rather than having to do the entirety of the journey. That saves you some trouble. But ideally, if you just keep going and don't stand still in the middle of the ether stuff, then you're gonna be fine. So from here I just have enough reach, so I can click that one and then just get out, wait for health to recover, click the other one, and then go over. I do like my loot, I can't just leave it behind, that would be unethical. There we are. The enemies here, the crystals, they're ether based, so they're going to be highly resistant to ether damage. Large part of the damage that we deal is of course ether damage, so might take a little bit more to kill the enemies here, but such is life. That detonation site leads to Port Volbury, one of the challenge dungeons. I actually don't have any dynamite, so I can't even go there. And no, there's no real point in going there right now for me. I'll keep all those challenge areas to ultimate. So last episode I talked a little bit about Spirit Crusher, one of the blue maces. One of the things it does is reduce the health regen on enemies. What it also does is reduce the vitality resistance on enemies. So now if you manage to find one of those or happen to have one in your stash still, it's a useful weapon. It's the upgraded version actually gives you +1 to Necromancer skills, because there's a mythical version and a enhanced, something with an E. No, the elite version, so to say, and the mythicals are of course the ultimate version. But +1 to necro skills, as well as a useful proc that weakens enemies to the damage that you deal. That's pretty darn useful. Turtle Shell is at level 10 out of 25 now. I'm slowly getting there. For the devotions, last episode I did forget to actually assign the point into Behemoth, but Behemoth is now complete. So next up we're gonna grab the Scholar's Light, which might seem like an odd one. It's fire damage, then top physique defense and elemental resists, but finally elemental damage is not useful, but the 2.5 energy regen is pretty neat. But it is 3 points invested to get 4 green points out, which is why I want it. In the same vein, we're gonna go after the Jackal here, 3 points in, 3 points out, that gets us red points. And then after that, Ratosh the Veil Warden is the goal. And we need some white for that, which is where the lion comes in. Again, 3 points for 3 points. It's kind of neat. Actually, scratch that. We're gonna go for the crane, because that ties into the long-term plan of going after the skills of Okama. So no, short term we're gonna grab some of the smaller constellations. I think we might even be able to just refund some of the starter points here, but no, those are details for a later time. Am I too far away? I was too far away. There we go. So we do feel a little sturdier here. Might just be complete happenstance. Might be actually because of the upgrades of the gear last time. With all the components, I effectively ended up just resocketing with the same components. Most of the resistances are above 50, some are even above 60. There's piercing is a little low, ether is a little low, and chaos is even lower. But I think for now, this point in the game, we're not doing too bad. Just keep in mind that we are vulnerable to things such as ether. But we did find a Spirit Bane Ointment Potion, so if I need, I can drink it to get some extra resists. Yes, we got ourselves a level here, so point into Veterancy. Just a 1 pointer. The health regen is not terribly efficient here. The Constitution is nice, but not great. And a reduction in the physique requirement. It's nice, but not worth skill points, in my opinion. Markovian's Defense. I think for now I'm actually gonna leave this one be. It does allow us to more or less chaincast Overguard, because the cooldown goes down from 20 to 12.5 seconds, whereas the duration remains at 10. So there's gonna be a 2.5 second downtime. So it's effectively 80% uptime if we keep chaincasting it. But it also modifies damage, which I'm not too keen on, so if you don't need it, having more damage means more leech, means more effectiveness overall. But keep in mind that the points might be relevant at some point. Yeah, so for here that decides that. Then the choice is, do we push forward for Warcry? I think Warcry might not be a bad idea. Alternatively, Necromancer. Mark of Torment is not a bad one to have. Just it's a small damage absorption shield that we can actively trigger. And there's some upgrades here as well. Okay, let's stick with Necromancer. It is our primary class after all. Let's see, this was only a passive. So that's alright. Let's keep going. We have a boss to kill. I must say, I am happy that most of these skills that we use in this build are relatively low level. And we don't need to max out the base skills plus all the supports to make them efficient at the difficulty and the place where we are in the game. I'm happy with that. That means there's actually room for the skill to grow in the later game. Okay, that was a little too much in the ether there. Okay, we're mostly filled up, so we'll just pick that one up. Okay, I actually had to drink a potion to get out. That's not something that you want to get into a habit of with these ether areas. But I can't resist picking up shards. Actually, in between episodes, a couple episodes ago, I actually went and did a ether shard run in the Warden area. I mean, that place does scale up to level 30. And there we have a Herald of Flame. So let's just not stand in the ether touched ground or whenever he activates the ground. And now it's just a matter of just standing there, leeching life. This is definitely not the most exciting of fights. If we go in here, the ground effects are gonna hurt us like hell, which is not something that I really relish. Okay, hello there, Flesh Hulk. You might help me trigger Battle Rage. Yes, that's better. Okay, I might as well just do some life leeching on you. Okay, there you go, and we got hit. Okay, this secondary stage, the enemy actually fights back. And of course, because the enemy is fighting, we proc all kinds of offensive bonuses added. Life is pretty good that way. But yeah, dealing with enemies that are pretty resistant to ether, maybe not our strongest point just yet. I mean, that is one of the reasons why I want to get Ratosh, just so we can actually lower enemies' resistances. Because that's gonna make boss fights like these much better to do. And there's even dynamite over here. I like it. And of course, we have claimed the resources for the Black Legion. So we've done what we came to do. So technically now if you got the dynamite, you can always of course just go back and then do the Port Forbury mission. You do need a skeleton key for that, so keep that in mind. But in my case, not gonna do it. So this dude over here is the one that sent us out. You're welcome. Got some iron bits and we got a little bit of Black Legion reputation. Since we're standing next to a vendor, we might as well just have a quick look. We don't need weird shields. We don't need this axe. Shoulder guards any good? They're low on armor. This one is high on armor. It has pierce resist, poison resist, chaos resist. The bonus to ether damage is welcome. Offensive ability, increased armor is a global bonus. It's not actually a bad one, really. We will benefit from the pierce resist. We will benefit from the poison resist. We're actually going to be overcapped on poison by 10% after this. And chaos is going to be slightly better off here. That's not a bad deal. So, well, that serves me right for investing in new shoulder pads. By buying them. You can also find them. In terms of physique, still on course. Might as well spend another one in spirit. Helmet. Nah, this one is not doing all the right things. And this one is lower armor. +3 to counter strike, potentially defensively useful, but meh. Let's see, Blood Reaper's Glory. Well, we'll put that one aside and store it. Amulet, bonus to vitality damage, that is potentially relevant. Health bonus, that is always useful. Cunning Spirit, energy. We'll lose the +1 to drain essence, but get a bit more damage. Just postpone the decision by another level. Deal with it later. It's one of my favorite strategies for dealing with items that I'm not entirely sure of. No, just postpone the decision until you can use them. Oftentimes, just postponing this decision will automatically make it for you. Most of the time, you will err towards the side of not doing it, but well, at least that way, at least you know you actually gave yourself a choice. I don't feel like going back to town, so we'll just stash this one. I'll just later get the thing out. We do need a replacement for the Silk Swatch, so let's craft one of those. Silk Swatch, where are you? There you are. Resilient plating, yes, of course. Craft one of those. And then we can craft this. Would be amazing if there was actually an option to, say like to craft all the replacements if it would be possible to do it, or if it would be highlighted in like a different color to indicate that it actually has a dependency tree that will go through, but it can do it, and that the total cost will just be shown or something. Just makes the crafting game a little easier to manually manage. Yeah, let's find ourselves an exploit point. And now say hello to the Order of Death's Vigil and do all of that fun stuff. Reminder to myself, just before we actually enter the hideout, go back to town, have a look at the shared stash, and grab some Blood of Cthulhu and the other crafting thing out of it. There's the Blood of Cthulhu and there's the pages. They look like pages. They look like I don't know, name eludes me. I actually can picture what they look like roughly. They look like sigils, like purity shields, but impurity shields. Okay, we've actually found a Blood of Cthulhu here, because we will need a couple of those things for the first quest, if I do remember correctly. And again, it could also be for the other faction. I've been mixing those up for basically ever since I've been doing these quests. I'm never quite sure about which set of quests and therefore which set of items you need for which of the factions. Of course, you always want to be efficient, so. Because it could be, actually, we might actually just need the corpse of Melkadar. Oh, that's not in town. I thought I had a portal in town. So, what was I talking about? These Chthonic Seals of Binding. All of them. Sure, why not? Ah, yes, we're gonna go into an area with lots of casters, so caster items are gonna be the things that drop. We will have our pick of gear. This one has wrong damage bonuses, so I'm just gonna ignore it. But it could be useful. Okay, we entered at a waypoint, so we might as well just use that one. Order of Death's Vigil. Our friends, our buddies. I think you only need 3, but yeah, no, it's always easier to just grab everything and then make sure not to die, of course, rather than just picking everything and then just have not picking everything and then just regretting it. You wanted to speak with me? What must I do? What is the rite of resurrection? I will find the remains. So we need to find the bones of the dude. Keeper of the artifacts. Let's see. Blessed Steel, Blessed Whetstone. Death 6 gun, that's a new relic. Or a new gun. And Death's Cord, so you can also get a belt recipe here. So I think it truly is just the Malmouth Resistance that will have the level 35 relic we're looking for. Mortality. Okay, let's see if we can get it. The corpse, that is. And then the next waypoint, just make our way through. See the dude. So most of the time, just hang to the left, work your way through. It's a pretty good strategy for finding that corpse, in my experience. Of course, there's some randomization as to where you can actually find the corpse. So it doesn't pan out all the time. So these apparently are friendlies. They are also friendly, but luckily these monsters are not. And look, there is something here. A corpse. Black Legion remains. And we got ourselves a ribbon. Participation trophy. Is that... No, you're not Bolvar, but... You're a hero nonetheless. So I'll just drain the life out of you. And be done with it. Ah, another Black Legion remains and another insignia and just a random corpse. That gives us even more health points. Stone altar. Deathbringer's Riment. Well, that's pretty neat. Sounds neat. What's it do? Bonus to vitality damage, ether damage, vitality decay. 35% vitality damage is converted to ether damage. Health, energy, pierce resistance and +3 to hungering. Reach. Which, if I remember correctly, and I do, is this lovely little skill. So that's going to get us 3 more levels. So it's going to bump us an entire tier in power. So the hit chance goes up, hits more targets now, crit damage goes up, life leech goes up, and the energy usage goes up a little bit. I think we are morally obligated to do it. Yeah, I think so. I mean, it is made for us. But I would like to have my Sanctified Bone to put in it, just to get my Vitality and Chaos Resistance up. So we'll switch that one in between episodes. Anything else? Yeah. Some regular caster stuff. Okay, cool. We can just continue. Wait, is that a portal? Or is that just a special effect? Looks like a special effect gone haywire, but it might as well just be a portal. They also are small, swirly, but there's no hover effect, so let's just go for a special effect gone weird. Seals of Binding. Okay, there are some prisoners here to free. That is yet another one of the quests. Another seal. Most of the time, if you need to find the seals, you don't find enough in the limited time that you take to actually find the corpse and go through the basic quests here. And now, of course, they're raining down one after the other. Simply because I went through the effort of trying to find it. So there is a devotion shrine here that is going to be useful. And if I remember correctly, we might actually need one of the purple items we have been hoarding for that one. Okay, since I'm veering off here, might as well just plop down a portal here. Oh, actually mistook one of the bends for the other. So you want to be about here for the waypoint. So if you put down a portal, then you can just use the waypoint to go back to the portal, so you don't have to backtrack too much. And then you're going to be relatively efficient about it. Another corpse. Another insignia. That's 4 out of 5. And with a bit of luck, the marker on the map is the next one. And it looks like it is. Cool. So that is 5 out of 5. And after that we simply stop caring. Kind of heartless that way. Karma is chosen. And there's also some of our undead friends here. Well. Okay, so what is left to do here? After we tagged the waypoint, we still need to find Malkoda's remains. And of course, back to the shrine. So we grab the portal. Oh, there's a way through here to the shrine. Might as well grab it. Bolvar the Bloodbinder is out here. That is usually, yeah, see, Chthonic Seal of Binding, Consecrated Wrappings. And that is another point. And speaking of Bolvar, Bolvar's here. Might very well be that Bolvar is one of those things that's actually on the wish list of the other faction. Because, well, as I say, I keep mixing them up. Yeah, I think it might be useful to just put a couple more points into our Drain Essence. Just for the simple virtue of boosting our damage output a little bit against bosses that are sturdy. Because regular mobs we really don't need the damage output, it's the bosses. But okay, we don't need those anymore. Malkoda's remains. Okay, so I need to walk around here. Oh, and also the quest that I usually start with, but now completely walked by. There's a witch here that needs to be rescued. Well, yeah. Does he really need our help? I think so, yeah. We'll see her later, so it's going to be not awkward if you save her. It's going to be incredibly awkward. Otherwise, it's like, yeah, you know, I was there, you could have saved me, you didn't. And it's on the way anyway. Or do I need to go even further back? Well, I can just backtrack it this way. Ah, more zealots. Let's see, that is Kami's chosen entrance, sure. Don't really care too much about that, but... Scoutmaster? Or is this yet another one of those cases where I am mixing up locations? Do I need to go even further back? I don't think so. Yeah, there we are. It's to the right. Hey, what's going on here? I want to speak to the Taken first. Hello, Ralia. I will stop them. Kill the humans. Yeah, you're not really doing much, buddy. And then we have saved one Ralia. Okay. Cool. Goodbye. And we get ourselves a Witch's Effigy. We don't really need it, because we have a shield. But it is nice to have anyway. Yeah, might as well have a chat with our undead friends first. Because of course, now that we have a corpse, we have the right. And that's maybe where we need the Blood of Cthulhu and the sigils and things like that. So it might be that I'm just mixing the order of things here. Let's see, I have the remains. What is it? Oh, let me get some reputation. Go on. Are these the seals that you seek? Yeah, see, those are the Chthonic seals of binding. More reputation. So, what's next? How can we prevent this? I will gather the essence. Then, of course, it is the essence. Sure, I will gather the essence. What essence? Ooh, Stone Rend Quarry. Yes. Stone Rend Quarry lies here in the Morton's Claim area. But we'll keep that for the next episode. I mean, for next episode we got Morton's Claim, we got Griver's Mill. With a bit of luck we will probably even go towards the village of Darkvale. So we can actually just portal back to town. Say hello to people. And then you are... Cult must be stopped. What must be done? Repetition. Might go after Keros, Sigil of Cthulhu. Well, that is Darkvale. So that's alright. So then I do suspect that Bolvar is actually part of the Kami's chosen faction quests. And that concludes it in terms of questies. So I'm gonna thank you very much for watching and hope to see you again next time when we venture further into the Bloodgrove. Bye bye.